Southern California.
This is KCAA.
We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm.
Welcome and listening to a radio station where
it's controlled chaos. Stomping the IE and the world on 1050 AM KCAA. NBC News Talk Radio.
Controlled Chaos, KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM. Also on iHeartRadio, iHeart.com. I'm Gary Garver. How are you? Hey, listen, go buy your Powerball tickets today. The jackpot's worth $403 million. It's the 10th largest ever. So, hey, I got the guru of the ghetto. Hey, Jigga. I got guru of the ghetto, Jigga Jones on the phone. The Powerballs in Vegas, I don't think you had the Powerball in Vegas in Nevada, right?
No, we don't. We ain't got no lottery up in here, but a lot of people drive the state line to pick up, California tickets and stuff. Yeah,
it's crazy because I was just in Vegas, about a month ago, and they have a liquor store right outside, a huge liquor store right outside of the state line, right by Whiskey Pete's and Buffalo Bills and things like that. And I guess that's where everybody buys their, because you see a lot, they always have a news report of like these lines of people trying to buy Powerball tickets.
Yeah.
Anyways, are you going down there? Are you going to state line today to try to win $400 million?
Well, I got some family members that are going to be going down there, standing in line today. I know they were talking about it last night. Talking about, hey, California, they may not have a dam that's working, but they got a Powerball that's up to something.
We don't have a prison system working either, but we can get into that too. Unbelievable with this guy killing this poor cop.
That's why criminals love California,
right?
I mean, there's no better place to be a criminal in California.
I'm telling you, man.
You can kill folks, have parole violations to get out. I mean, this is a thieves' paradise. That's why all the thieves come there.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, we're gonna. Yeah, it's amazing. This poor police officer in Whittier was shot. Stephen Katz was shot Tuesday. I guess it was this guy, this felon, this animal. This guy was. I don't even want to name his name. I'll name it. Michael Mejia. He was a career criminal. I guess he killed his cousin, okay, and then took off, stole his car, crashed the car that he stole, and the two cops came up from Whittier, Stephen Katz, another cop, came up and, didn't know what the hell was going on. He just saw an accident, and this guy just opened fire on him, man, with a semi-automatic pistol, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd been and he'd been in and out of jail for he was a career criminal, and he had been in and out of jail 5 different times in the last 6 months, man. I mean, our system's so screwed up.
You got failed by a couple of systems right there.
Yeah.
All these systems are supposed to protect people. Those supposed gun laws where felons can't buy guns because they put these laws on. Guess what? He had a gun. Guess what? He didn't buy it from a gun store. I mean, but the people think, oh, we'll pass a gun law. It's going to do something. It'll do nothing.
Yeah.
You got to leave people on parole. And the thing with Jerry Brown's saying, man, it wasn't supposed to release violent criminals. But if you actually read it, it didn't say anything about excluding violent criminals.
No, I know, man. It's crazy.
You read it, and it's like, okay, well, because his last arrest that he was, this cop killer was arrested for, was he had killed somebody and stole the car. Well, consider what they did is they go by the second crime, by your last crime is how you're classified. Well, stealing the car is considered a nonviolent offense.
Yeah.
So they looked at that and said, oh, well, we can let him out. Well, they don't look at how did you get a possession of the car anyway? That question's never asked.
The guy was in and out of jail his whole life, and since he got paroled, a year ago, he's been in and out of jail 5 different times, and they always release him 5 or 10 days later, and look what happened. I mean, this is Jerry Brown is an idiot. This whole thing, you know, I mean, I'm so sick of this. I'm sick of Gil Garcetti. You know, I mean, not Gil Garcetti. What the hell? Who's our mayor? I forget that. Isn't that the guy? Gil Garcetti was Eric Garcetti, his son. You know, Gil Garcetti's
He's an idiot too.
He's an idiot too. Both of them are idiots. You know, sanctuary cities and all this. I'm so sick of these guys. I'm sick. These politicians are a bunch of a-holes. We need to vote them all out. That's why we had Donald Trump as president, even though I'm not for Trump that much.
Exactly.
But, you know, but that's
why.
You know.
That's why you could have damn near ran Manson up against Hillary Clinton, and Manson would have won.
Possibly.
There's enough people that don't read. There's enough people that don't read it. So, I recognize that name. I'll vote for him.
Yeah, no, I dig it,
crazy.
man. I mean, Propositions 4757 and Assembly Bill 109, basically, they had too many criminals. We have too many criminals here in the California prison, so they just let them go. You know, hey, you can go commit crimes here in the state of California, no big deal. You're going to get released in like a week or two. I mean, come on, man. Literally, Jerry Brown, you're an idiot, man. And now look what happened. This poor cop, he came across an accident, didn't know what the hell was going on, and this a-hole has been, look at him. Did you see a picture of him, man? He looks like a friggin' animal, man. I mean, he should be put down like an animal. He should be put down like an animal, man. Euthanize this a-hole.
I'm wondering,
you know?
How did they let this dude out? How did he sit in front of the parole board looking like he looked and say, oh, yeah, I'm not going to go back into crime? And you see all these tattoos that don't say nothing nice on them. You can't even read some of the tattoos he's got on the air.
I know, it's crazy, man. I know, it's crazy. It's stupid. Anyways, listen, let's, I just want to say I feel bad for the Whittier Police Department and the poor officer.
Now, Gary.
Yes.
There's something that you left out of this. What if you was out driving, and this fool runs into you, and you get out trying to be nice, Oh, well, let's exchange information. You giving this dude your address?
Oh, I mean, and guess what?
No. I'm driving off.
Of course, I'm hightailing it out. In fact, I'm leaving my car there, my truck there, and running for the hills. You know what I mean?
Now you realize just that statement right there makes us both prejudiced because we judge this guy by the way he looks. But this is the time when you can say, yeah, a book can be judged by a cover when it looks like that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
It looks like he stepped out of a prison movie.
How could he get paroled? I mean, not paroled. First of all, he got paroled, and then 5 different times in the last year he's in and out of jail, and they let him go again. I mean, come on, man. These are the people that should be locked up. Throw away the friggin' key. That's it, man. I mean, seriously, it's crazy. Hey, listen, we want to get into this other thing we talked about Monday. The Mandela effect, because I think our society is just insane right now. These are words, phrases, all sorts of different things that have been changed, sort of been altered. Like what do you think about this, Jigga? What do you think the Mandela effect actually is? It's sort of like where things are altered, like we give an example. Let's give the Mr. Rock.
I'll give you a good example. Back to the Future.
Okay, Back to the Future.
He goes back. He falls in love with his mom, and then his picture starts erasing out of the family portrait.
Correct.
This is like perfect example. Maybe somebody went back in time, changed something, one little thing, and then it resulted in a whole bunch of stuff. Stuff is spelled wrong. It's not the Berenstain Bears anymore. It's the Berenstein Bears, or vice versa.
Right. Oscar Mayer. Hey, by the way, Oscar Mayer. Okay, how do you spell Oscar Mayer? Yeah, the wiener. Oscar Mayer. I want to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. I don't know why you want to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. It's full of corrupt crap and stuff like that. But if you want to be a wiener, be a wiener. I don't care. But how do you spell Oscar Mayer? How would you spell it, Jacob, back in the day?
I used to spell it M-E-Y-E-R because my baloney had a first name, O-S-C-A-R, my second name, M-E-Y-E-R.
M-E-Y-E-R, right. They had a song about it. Guess what? Well, if you go to YouTube right now, they spell it M-A-Y-E-R. M-A-Y-E-R. And remember the little kid, I want to be an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in the video from, 1970, he spells it M-A-Y-E-R instead of M-E-Y-E-R. This is just one of many, many facts for the Mandela effect. It's like an altered world or state, different realm. Who's doing this? What I want to know is who's doing this crap? Who do you? I mean, is there a conspiracy going on here? I have no idea. It's just bizarre.
First of all, it's something that the people listening on the radio, I know it's hard for them to imagine what we're talking about. but when they get a chance, they got to get in the Google images, and we talked about cup noodles.
Yeah.
It's never been cup noodles; it was cup of noodles.
Cup of noodles.
And that's why everybody cup of noodle soup, cup of noodle soup, cup of noodle soup. Even a little dance, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
If you go back now, it's not the little song cup of noodle soup, cup of noodle soup. It used to be a little dance, right? Well, now it's called top ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Top ramen noodles.
Yeah, well,
that's not even the song.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's called the Mandela Effect. You can Google it. But if you go on YouTube right now, go to YouTube and look up Oscar Mayer Wiener, and you'll see different spellings for it. There's like different videos, like maybe 20 different videos, and some of them spell it M-E-Y-E-R, and some of them spell it M-A-Y-E-R. There's other things going on. I actually talked to my accountant. I actually had to go pay my taxes, or I am paying taxes this year. Unlike Donald Trump, our president, and a few other billionaires, but I will be paying my taxes. So I was talking to her about this, and I said, California Dreamin', and we'll play it out of the break. After the break. And I go, what happened? Went to the church, and what did you do? What happened? She goes, I began to pray, and I go, no. It says I pretend to pray now. So, there's all sorts of different things. We're going to get into it in a minute. We got all the Guru of the Ghetto has all different facts. I have some facts too. We'll play the Mr. Rogers song, and then how do you spell Fruit Loops? How do you spell Fruit Loops back in the day? We'll talk about that. Looney Tunes names changed. It's crazy. This whole thing is loony. You know what I mean? Life is loony. I don't know, man. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but this is crazy. It is Control Chaos. KCAA.
So you are now.
Come on, Jigga. I am not. I'm just an alcoholic womanizer gambler. That's all I am. All right, we'll be back after this.
NBC Talk Radio, 1050 AM.
If you're looking to cater a party or even a great evening with your family or friends, Chef Kurt and Celebrity Gourmet Catering is the place to go. Kurt Ehrlich is a well-renowned chef that has served meals to 3 presidents along with other dignitaries from around the world in his 40-year career. Celebrity Gourmet Catering specializes in not only catering to big events, but also small private affairs that will make you feel like royalty. Chef Kurt has the magic touch when it comes to creating dishes from all over the world. To find out more about catering your event, go to celebritygourmetcatering.com. That's celebritygourmetcatering.com. With Chef Kurt, you can't go wrong.
Are you feeling tired, depressed, unable to lose weight, and your skin is lacking that beautiful glow? Have you been to a ton of doctors that can't seem to solve your issue? Look no further than Nina MD. Nina MD Beverly Hills can be found at ninamd.com or by calling 310-777-7511. Dr. Nina comes with over 20 years' experience of diagnosing and treating patients who have not had success in the past. At Nina MD Beverly Hills, our passion is to make you feel healthy and look beautiful from the inside out. We provide personalized treatments that are very innovative, cutting edge, effective, and safe. You can watch Nina MD on Time Warner LA 36 to learn about the latest and greatest procedures available. Start feeling your best today. Visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511 to schedule your appointment today.
Does a Bush in the White House make you nervous?
No. We've had a Bush in the White House. He didn't do too badly.
Do you think Hollywood discriminated against Halle Berry?
Do I think Hollywood discriminates? Does Holly work in Hollywood?
Did Hollywood discriminate against Halle Berry?
Answer my question. Does Holly work in Hollywood?
Yes, she does.
I don't think she discriminates then.
Have you ever left the scene of an accident?
Not one I'll admit to.
Would you ever do full frontal nudity in a movie?
Absolutely.
You ever had a gay experience?
Huh?
Have you ever had a gay experience?
Have you ever had a gay experience?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Morgan.
Leave no listeners behind. KCAA.
Gary Garver, Jew of the... what can we say that's not going to piss him off? Never mind.
Maybe I shouldn't say Jew of whatever, because, there's a lot of hate going on, anti-Semitism happening. Jewish cemeteries are being vandalized and terrorist threats against synagogues and centers. Maybe I should cut that Jew promo out. What do you think, Jigga? It is Control Chaos, KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM. Hey, white people, I'm half Jew. My mom's a Jew. That makes me a Jew, but my dad went to Baptist church. I went to Baptist church with my papa. So lay off of me, okay? I'm only half Jew. Does that make a difference, Jigga? I don't know.
So you better look out. You gonna give these crazy folks some kind of idea they're gonna find Gary Garver cut in half. They'll be like, oh, good Lord.
Oh, Lord. Lord, have mercy. All right, listen, it is Controlled Chaos. Guru of the Ghetto, Jigga Jones in Vegas. We're talking about the Mandela effect, which is basically where words, sentences, movies get altered. In fact, you were talking to me off the air about Star Wars. All these Star Wars freaks, I'm sure this is going to be a big conspiracy for Star Wars people. So tell me about the Star Wars, altered state here.
Well, yeah, people who like Star Wars and stuff, they'll remember, the original, Star Wars that came out. C-3PO was all in gold.
Right. Yeah, I remember.
He was all gold.
All gold. He was never. No, he was not. Yeah. He was always in gold. Yeah, exactly. Now what's happened?
Now, when you look at any video, now that's the restored one, the new one, the one on VHS. He's got a silver leg. His bottom right leg is silver.
It's all silver.
From
no
the
way.
knee down.
No way, man.
From the knee down.
Now,
Look at it. Google images. C-3PO.
All right, I'm just saying. That's
You'll
BS.
be shocked. 'Cause I know I was.
I know that he was all gold. I mean, in the original Star Wars, he was all gold. In fact, all through the first 3 Star Wars, back in the 70s and early 80s, he was all gold. Now he has a silver leg. Correct?
Yep.
Okay.
And then
go ahead.
The comedy of it is that there's Star Wars collectors that were like, oh, they must have changed it. And they go back and look at their own collection, and theirs has a silver leg, and they can't explain it.
That is weird. What the hell is this?
You know what I'm saying? Oh, they must have changed it to make a new. Because I had a guy who didn't know it all, and I was telling him, hey, well, C-3PO's got a silver leg. Oh, no, he doesn't. I said, well, you should take a look again. And he looked, and he said, oh, well, that's because they're selling a new action figure because of the rollout. I was like, no, it isn't. I said, what I'm telling you is that if you have one of these, I bet the leg's silver. He goes, oh, yeah, you want to bet? He got all ridiculous about it. And we went back and looked, and guess what? Had a silver leg. You should have seen the look on his face.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Dude.
I never noticed a silver leg. I said, because there wasn't no damn silver leg when you first got it.
Yeah. No, this is crazy. Now, remember the cereal Fruit Loops? I mean, I think they still have Fruit Loops, right? Out there? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, but now when I was growing up, Fruit Loops, it was with that canary, the commercial with the canary and all that. That was always, what?
Was it a Toucan Sam?
Yeah, something like that. So anyways, how'd you spell Fruit Loops back in the day? I spelled it F-R-U-I-T and then Loops, L-O-O-P-S. How's it spelled now, Jigga?
Now it's fruit, like O-O-T.
F-R-O-O-T. Loops, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now what the hell is this, man? I don't know what the hell's going on here. Now I was talking to my accountant yesterday, and I asked her about California Dreamin', and I played this the other day. Now listen to California Dreamin', okay? Back in the day, it was like I went to the church, got down on my knees, and began to pray. Now, if you can look it up, you can go to YouTube right now and check it out. I mean, I'm not joking. It's the mamas and papas actually singing it, okay? I mean, video of it.
And the sky is gray. I've been for a walk.
Michelle Phillips is hot, though, man. Oh, she's so smoking. How could John Phillips have an affair with Mackenzie Phillips' daughter when you got Michelle Phillips? I don't know what's wrong with these guys. There's too much acid probably back in the 60s, right?
Got it.
All right, here we go.
On such a winter's day.
Now listen to this, people of Earth.
Stepped into a church. I passed along the way. Well, I got down on my knees and I pretend to pray.
I pretend to pray? Now, why? First of all, why the hell would you pretend to pray if you're going to get down on your knees, right? What the? I mean, now, Jiggy,
Not only that.
What?
But remember, it's the coming out of the early 60s and stuff. Why would you stop into a church if you were going to pretend to pray?
Exactly.
You go into a church and I went to a church. I stopped into a church along the way. I got down on my knees
and began to pray.
And I pretend to pray. That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. And I was talking to my accountant Jill, who actually I guess her and her boyfriend were listening to my show listening to the show on Monday. You and I talking about Trump and deportation, and her boyfriend, and a good friend of mine is a staunch Trump supporter, and he got pissed off at me. I'm pissing people off. I'm pissing my friends off about this. So, anyways, I go to Jill. I go, listen, do you remember the song California Dream? And she goes, yeah. I go, okay, you got down on your knees, and what happened? She goes, oh, I began to pray. I go to YouTube right now. Go to YouTube, people. I'm not joking about this. It's Pretend to Pray. It's crazy. And now you pointed this one out. Mr. Rogers, the old Mr. Rogers song, right?
Yeah, man. That's the one everybody knows because everybody sang it as a kid.
All right, here we go. I'm going to play it right now. Do you think he was a pedophile? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
He was sort of a weird dude. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he was, but he was a strange cat. You know what I mean? I could never watch this. I always thought he was creepy, you know? But here we go. This is the original Mr. Rogers song, by the way. Mr. Rogers singing this. This is on YouTube. I'm not joking, people. Check it out. This whole thing's creepy, even the beginning.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day.
Okay, you heard that. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, right? That's what he said. Now, what?
In this neighborhood.
Exactly. Now, I got a clip from Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon doing a take on Mr. Rogers. Okay, here. This is Jimmy Fallon, I don't know, a couple years ago. Listen to this now. Listen to what he says.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Did you hear that? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, right? Now, you know the writers aren't
exactly.
You know the writers of The Tonight Show are not going to screw that up, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, what do you think? Jig, let me ask you, what's your theory on this, and what's the cause of this? What do you think the cause of this is? I have no idea what it is. I mean,
there are people who say that CERN, that's that big hadron collider that they put out there in Europe, is supposed to be able to do transdimensional travel, you know. They're thinking that maybe these people screwed up and merged two worlds together. I don't know about that, but I think maybe somebody went back in time and screwed something up. And then they tried to fix it, and every time they tried to fix it, something happened. Because, you know, in all the music, think about it, most of these changes in these music are all coming from the same music labels. And think of it, if one guy was not inspired a certain way, the editor or your A&R guy or whoever's doing your mixing, you know, wasn't inspired a certain way, the word "the" becomes something else. You know, when you have the Doors, you know, doing their thing, you know, come on, baby, light my fire. You know, when you listen to that now and you go, well, wait, that word sounds funny. You know, and then you got like the Mamas and the Papas. You got that thing going on.
Yeah, but it's weird.
You know, Queen of the World. You got Queen. We are the champions. And the biggest lyric is "of the world" in the very end of it, and it doesn't appear in the original recording anymore.
It doesn't appear, really. "We Are the Champions," because that's one of the biggest songs of all time, and I mean they play it in arenas and everywhere. You know, "We are the champions," we're, you know, blah blah blah, and they don't. The end of it is because the end of it was like, "We are the champions of the world." Boom, that was the end of it, and now it's not there.
Yeah.
Now it's not there.
It's only in live performances when you hear "of the world" now. It's not in the original recording.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of bizarre because, I mean, who's altering these old videos, like these YouTube videos that I'm playing, like with Oscar Mayer, the kid with Oscar Mayer Wiener, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Mamas and Papas. These are videos from 40 years ago. I mean, who would take the time to do this, and why are they doing it? And is that why everything's all screwed up and we have all chaos? I'll tell you the truth, man. This is how I feel sometimes about life, because isn't it weird how some days just go so smooth and peaceful and you're on top of the world, and then other days everything is just a nightmare? I mean, or there's a week of it or a month or even a year of it. I've had years like last year was a nightmare for me anyways, 2006. And it seems like in 96, 2006, and 2016, these last years that end in 6, I always have crappy years, like terrible years. Do you feel like there's some force controlling us, like there's like you're a puppet, like we're puppets out there, and there's like some sort of puppeteer up in, you know, some other realm controlling us? That's how I feel at times. I don't know.
Yeah, man, it's some weird stuff, man. I mean, it's things. and I got one that my buddy is always talking about, and he's always talking about Prince.
Yeah.
How Prince locked himself away in his little, his little spot over there, and he has a lyric that kind of like goes with this, and I don't want to mess it up because it's very exact on what he says, but it's like when he's talking about, we're gathered here today to celebrate this life thing, the whole thing, and he talks about the afterworld, where everything is all right, blah, 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 because this life, things are much harder in the afterworld, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, you look at this stuff and you say, man, this is some deep talk for a dude at this point. And if you start stacking it up against the Mandela effect, it kind of fits.
Yeah, it's bizarre, man. Hey, listen, one other thing before because we got to take a break, but Snow White, remember Mirror, Mirror on the Wall? Remember that? That was Mirror.
Oh, yeah, now it's Magic Mirror on the Wall.
Exactly. It's called Magic Mirror on the Wall. But back in the day, growing up, man, Snow White, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Who's the ugliest person of them all? Me, Gary Garver. But that's okay. We don't have to deal with that. We changed that. We altered that one too. Well, there's altered fake news, all this altered fake news and all this stuff. And now we're just sort of pointing out different things. Now, listen, you can take it for whatever it is. I don't know what the hell it is, but it is strange that these certain phrases and words are being altered. It's crazy. All right. Listen, we got to take a break, Jigga, and then we'll be back with some more stuff. What?
And I got vans outside of my house here.
You got van? Maybe it's ice.
There's a black van.
Maybe it's ice out there. Go check it out.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my goodness. What is all this?
All right. Run for the hills.
Here we go again.
It's the Mandela effect. They're coming to get you. All right, we'll be back after this.
NBC Talk Radio, 1050 AM, KCAA.
Ever wonder how celebrities get their skin red carpet ready? Look no further than the Fire and Ice Facial from Is Clinical, available at Nina MD Beverly Hills. The Fire and Ice Facial is an amazing clinical treatment designed to rapidly and safely regenerate the skin, reducing fine lines and wrinkles for an envious glow, while smoothing and softening to achieve that ageless face. Excellent for all skin types and ages, Is Clinical's Fire and Ice Facial is a celebrity favorite and provides dramatic results with no downtime, peeling, or side effects. The Fire and Ice Facial is normally $215, but call 310-777-7511 now. Mention this ad and pay only $179. That's over $35 in savings just by mentioning this ad. Don't miss out on glowing and radiant skin from Is Clinical and Nina MD Beverly Hills. For more info, visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511. That's 310-777-7511.
This is Jigga Jones. If you missed any part of the show, go back and check it out on iHeartRadio.com.
Hey, this is Gary Garver. Not only am I a talk show host, somewhat of one, I also produce a couple shows for LA 36, a local channel here in Los Angeles. One show is called The Fusion of Science and Beauty with Dr. Nina, which airs Mondays at 11 p.m. And check out the Joan Quinn Profiles, also airing at 11 p.m. on Thursday, every Thursday on LA 36. Spectrum TV. Check it out. Come on. I need the dough.
20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law. It helped renew the promise that here in America, we're defined not by our limitations, but by our potential. As we celebrate the 20th anniversary of this historic legislation, it's important to remember that we're still fulfilling that promise. We've come a long way since 1990, and I'm committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
Brought to you by the American Association of People with Disabilities and the Ad Council.
How are you, sir?
How are you?
Good. I may go to hell for this, but I got to ask you these questions for my job, okay?
Yes. You go ahead. Ask anything.
Does getting the Nobel Prize help you pick up girls?
More than that. I mean, there must be thousands.
Nice.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Have you ever smoked pot?
No.
Never?
No. No.
And is it okay to have sex wearing a condom?
Not wearing a condom?
Wearing one.
Oh, I mean, I would be appalled if anyone did not practice safe sex. And so, as they say, the ABC, huh?
What's that?
ABC, abstain. If you can't abstain, be faithful, and when you have sex, condomize ABC.
Thank you, sir. Hey, happy birthday.
God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
This is the Gary Garver Show. If you're not listening to Gary, you.
Oh, thank you very much. It is Controlled Chaos. Or is it? I don't know. Maybe this is altered fake news. Maybe this show isn't even here. Maybe it's not even real. I'm under the Mandela effect. Anyways, it is Controlled Chaos on KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, also on iHeartRadio. I'm Gary Garver. Jacob Jones is dealing with ice right now, so we'll get back to him later on. But I've got a very cool person on the phone right now. He's doing some great work. You know, this human trafficking, we don't even know how big this is. It's crazy. Like, people are actually being trafficked, I guess that's a word, slaves and stuff like that. And this cat's doing something about it. I met him during shooting the Fusion of Science and Beauty Dr. Nina show. It's Rajiv. I'm going to screw your last name up. Utman Chandadi. Did I say it right, Rajiv?
Uttam Chandani. Thank you, Gary.
All right, pretty close. Anyway, a lot of syllables there, man. So listen, Rajiv, I mean, first of all, you're an activist, you're a professor, human rights activist, entrepreneur. You got all sorts of things going on. But you are putting on you have a website, and you also have conferences and things like that all over the world about human trafficking. Tell us a little bit about all this stuff.
Yeah, sure. So again, thank you, Gary, for having me on your show. It's a pleasure to be here.
No worries.
And we're always looking for, opportunities to share our passion and discuss exactly what's going on within the human rights cause. My primary background is in astrophysics. Actually, I'm an astrophysicist, and over the past few years, I've been much more interested in devoting my time, my talent, and my energy towards addressing social issues. As you look into human rights concerns as it happens around the world, you come to realize the extent of the issue and the fact that so much of what goes on is either underreported, underdiscussed, or just dismissed from all factors and aspects of society. So one of the most significant crimes of humanity that occurs on a daily basis all over the world, including the United States, is something called human trafficking. And it unfortunately affects young girls, boys, and women disproportionately.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. I mean, I know it's all over the world and things like that, and you hear about it. But in the United States, because people like sort of dismiss it, oh, that's a third world problem, the human trafficking, and it doesn't happen here in the United States, and blah, blah, blah. How big is it here in the United States? How many people are being trafficked, and how many people are being enslaved and things like that?
So it's a huge number. Globally, we estimate there are about 30 million slaves around the world.
30 million?
So 30 million slaves. So we've had more slaves now than we ever actually had before in terms of the human civilization. And we think of slavery as, happening during the Civil War, that era.
Right.
And now we don't realize that it's actually even more prevalent. And in fact, in the United States, human trafficking is the second fastest growing criminal industry in the world, and actually just behind drugs and drug trafficking. So you have, and especially in California, where we're from, when you talk about cities like Los Angeles, Long Beach, San Diego, San Francisco, these are the top cities in the nation with regards to the prevalence of human trafficking and the number of human trafficking victims.
Let me ask you a question. How did they get a hold of it? First of all, who's doing this? A, who's doing this? And B, how does this happen to kids and men, women, children? I mean, all sorts of ages and religions and ethnicities. I mean, who's doing this and how's it happening? I mean, it's crazy.
It is crazy, and it's so it's unexcusable, And a lot of these traffickers, you see, for a long time they were making money off of selling drugs, and basically a lot of this happens within gangs, gang members. We call them, pimps and johns.
Okay.
These are the terminologies that we refer to in daily language. But in reality, they are, they are of course criminals, and they are traffickers. So what they do is they especially look for children, young kids that come from abused homes or some kind of disproportionate families. They are either foster children, and they just pick them out. So
Wow.
I've spoken to many experts who deal directly with victims, and they say that just by looking, let's say you're looking, you're standing in front of a school and you look at a crowd of 6 or 7 girls. These traffickers, they're everywhere. They're kind of, roaming around society incognito.
Wow.
And only when they're caught are their crimes truly revealed, But they look at a group of 6 or 7 girls, and then they look at that and say, there's one girl who has a unusual demeanor. She's maybe looking down, or she seems kind of depressed. And those are the kinds of girls that they prey upon, because they're called Romeo pimps, which means that they coerce the girls into thinking that they are infatuated with them, that they love them and care for them. The girls who are looking for this sort of type of attention don't realize what type of environment they're actually in, and before they realize it, they are already deep within this criminal industry, where they are either used as escorts or as basically prostitutes or human trafficking victims. So it happens in so many different levels and so many different aspects. You have stories as well of girls coming from very well-established neighborhoods who are, say, promised some kind of modeling or acting gig, and they fall for this, and they go with this guy. And especially in Long Beach, we have a lot of occurrences of trafficking in Long Beach. So what happens is Long Beach is, of course, a major port.
Yeah.
So what happens is some of these girls are brought there, and they're actually placed into these ships as basically cargo, and they're shipped off anywhere else in the world. So they've lost their identity. They have no passport, no documentation. They're listed as missing persons, but before you realize it, they're already somewhere in Europe or in India or some other part of the world. And just think about that. One day you think everything is fine. The next day you're stuck in a cargo ship and being shipped off to some part of the world you have no idea where. You're being repeatedly abused on a daily basis, and you have no way of contacting anyone or getting back into the country that you're originally from.
It's so sick, man. It's so disgusting and so sick, and I don't know what kind of person's mind would do something. I mean, I can't believe a human would do that to another human being, first off. I mean, it just, it's just so disgusting. And these poor kids, I mean, and it's not like just the poor kids, like you said, there's girls that, want to be models and things like that. And then, I just don't understand it, man. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's bizarre. And it's huge here in California. It's amazing. Who knew?
Exactly, right. Yeah, who knew? And it is sickening. It is disturbing. And you get some of these the thinking behind selling these young girls and boys as well. There are actually a lot of young boys who become victimized in terms of trafficking. And the thought is, that if gangs go into selling drugs, that let's say, you sell drugs to someone. Well, it's a one-time deal. You sell drugs, you get your money, that's that. But if you're selling a human body, you can sell that body thousands of times
over and over.
You exactly, over and over and over. And all you have to do is sustain that in some minimal fashion. So, each week, with regards to these victims, for one victim, you would these pimps would earn thousands of dollars in each week. And if you talk about in totality in a single year, you're earning about $700,000-800,000 off of a single girl or boy in the course of a year.
Wow.
And this is like, for them, this is pure profit. There's no taxes, nothing. Right?
Nothing.
And
Nothing.
It's terrible, the fact that they earn millions of dollars. And if you take a look at human trafficking, which includes both sex trafficking and labor trafficking, overall globally, it's a $150 billion industry.
Damn, man, I tell you, I just gotta say, man, that is so. I mean, we got so many. I mean, this world is so screwed up. I mean, it just, I don't even know. But listen, man, you're doing some great work. You have a conference on this. Tell us a little bit about the conference happening. It's this Sunday. It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Reef LA, and that's at 1933 South Broadway in Los Angeles. Tell us a bit about the conference that you're running.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's basically a seminar that we're hosting about human trafficking, domestic abuse, and sexual assault as it stands here in Southern California. I'll be speaking at the seminar, as well as some other experts who are actually actively dealing with this issue. And the focus is on the reality of the issue as it stands here locally in our community, in downtown LA, in Long Beach, in San Diego, all of these different places, to reveal the statistics, to highlight individual stories so people know. Because, we can talk about millions of people around the world who are enslaved and all this, and it sooner or later just becomes numbers. But we have to realize that even just one victim who has lost his or her dignity towards this, that's worth all of our attention into. So we highlight the personal stories, we highlight our experiences, and then we show how people can actually actively help towards this. So a lot of my former students who are filmmakers, producers, and actors, they're actually going to be present at this seminar, and we're going to be talking about how we can use also the visual performing arts to create awareness of these problems, not in the sense of just revealing that they exist, but in revealing how we can help in terms of, pressuring government so we can increase punishment for those who actually break these laws, for traffickers, so that they don't go into jail serving only a small portion of their sentence and then getting out and then recommitting these crimes.
Absolutely. Well, listen, man, I'll tell you that the bottom line is this, man. I mean, what you're doing is great work. Nobody knows what's happening here in California. I mean, it's amazing that we're probably one of the top slave labor trafficking states in the, or maybe in the world. I mean, it's crazy. It's unbelievable. It's we got to run, Raji. But I'd love to have you on the show. Love to have you on the show again. And your filmmaker should do a documentary on this because we really got to bring the word out, because nobody knows about California's slave labor and these women, these poor girls, and even boys becoming slaves and prostitutes and being ruined for life, basically. If you got a website, what's your website? Tell us about your website, real quick. Just tell us what the website is.
So my main nonprofit website is called the International STEM Society for Human Rights. The website is www.isshr.org. My personal website is just my full name, RajivUttamchandani.com.
You better spell that, buddy.
Yeah, sure. So exactly right. So it's RAJIV. That's my first name, and then my last name is Uttamchandani. That's UTTAMCHANDANI. And if you just Google me, you'll find all of our different organizations and websites. And also, I list a lot of our activities and the things that we do in our social media platforms. So if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, just kind of keep up to date of what's going on. My handle is very simple. It's just @herrajiv, so @HER her, and then my first name, Rajiv, RAJIV. So it's @herrajiv for both Twitter and Instagram, and also Facebook as well.
Well, dude, you're doing great.
And if you want to volunteer and be a part of it, more than welcome to.
Well, you're doing great work. You're doing great work, man. And I'll definitely love to have you on the show, periodically to talk about this, because I want to get the word out on this. Nobody knows the state of California is one of the biggest slave labor states, or whatever, but in the world. Right. So I'd love to get the word out on this, and thank you so much. The conference is this Sunday. It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sunday, February 26th, and it's at the Reef LA. That's 1933 South Broadway in Los Angeles, and you can go check out Rajiv his website and what's the website? IH what?
ISSHR.org.
ISSHR.org. ISSHR.org to find out information on this and more, if you want to volunteer or whatever. Hey, Rajiv, keep on doing the good work, man. God bless you, man.
Thank you, my friend.
And thank you.
You too, Gary.
All right, my brother. God bless. Have a good time.
I really appreciate it, bro. Take care.
All right,
thank you so much.
You got it. You got it. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, who knew that, slave labor here in the state of California is like one of the number one, probably, for gang members and things like that. They instead of selling drugs, they can just sell humans now. You know what I mean? And over and over and over again sell these humans, and put them out on the for prostitution and slave labor, ship them off into crates and cargo ships. I mean, come on, man. What's wrong with us as human beings? It's bizarre. I mean, this whole thing is bizarre. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I don't even feel like I should be on this planet. I really don't. I feel like I don't belong here, man. I want to go back to my home. I want to go back to the dimension. I want to see all my buddies up in heaven, play golf with my dad, you know? I mean, I just want to go. I want to get out of here, man. The human race is bizarre. All right, we'll be back after this.
NBC Talk Radio, 1050 AM, KCAA.
If you're looking to cater a party or even a great evening with your family or friends, Chef Kurt and Celebrity Gourmet Catering is the place to go. Kurt Ehrlich is a well-renowned chef that has served meals to 3 presidents along with other dignitaries from around the world in his 40-year career. Celebrity Gourmet Catering specializes in not only catering to big events, but also small private affairs that will make you feel like royalty. Chef Kurt has the magic touch when it comes to creating dishes from all over the world. To find out more about catering your event, go to celebritygourmetcatering.com. That's celebritygourmetcatering.com. With Chef Kurt, you can't go wrong.
Ever wonder how celebrities get their skin red carpet ready? Look no further than the Fire and Ice Facial from Is Clinical, available at Nina MD Beverly Hills. The Fire and Ice Facial is an amazing clinical treatment designed to rapidly and safely regenerate the skin, reducing fine lines and wrinkles for an envious glow, while smoothing and softening to achieve that ageless face. Excellent for all skin types and ages, Is Clinical's Fire and Ice Facial is a celebrity favorite and provides dramatic results with no downtime, peeling, or side effects. The Fire and Ice Facial is normally $215, but call 310-777-7511 now. Mention this ad and pay only $179. That's over $35 in savings just by mentioning this ad. Don't miss out on glowing and radiant skin from Is Clinical and Nina MD Beverly Hills. For more info, visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511. That's 310-777-7511. Ever wonder how celebrities get their skin red carpet ready? Look no further than the Fire and Ice Facial from Is Clinical, available at Nina MD Beverly Hills. The Fire and Ice Facial is an amazing clinical treatment designed to rapidly and safely regenerate the skin, reducing fine lines and wrinkles for an envious glow, while smoothing and softening to achieve that ageless face. Excellent for all skin types and ages, Is Clinical's Fire and Ice Facial is a celebrity favorite and provides dramatic results with no downtime, peeling, or side effects. The Fire and Ice Facial is normally $215, but call 310-777-7511 now. Mention this ad and pay only $179. That's over $35 in savings just by mentioning this ad. Don't miss out on glowing and radiant skin from Is Clinical and Nina MD Beverly Hills. For more info, visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511. That's 310-777-7511.
Terry, how you doing? How you doing?
How you doing? Good.
What's the bravest thing you ever did?
Bravest thing? Got on a Brahma bull. Rode a Brahma bull. Yeah, I was proud of that. You ever done that?
No, I never done.
That's scary. Scary.
If blacks disappeared, would the quality of sports decline?
If blacks disappeared with a what a question. We wouldn't have enough players to fill the void. 60% of the NFL is by black athletes, so the quality definitely would drop. Absolutely.
Would you participate in a charity golf outing with OJ?
Would I? No.
Do you?
No. Okay.
Do you think Pete Rose should be allowed back in baseball?
Absolutely.
Have you ever taken Prozac?
Never.
Ever smoked marijuana?
Never. Wow, this is good stuff. These are good.
Well, have you?
Q&A.
Hold on. Who do you love more, your mother or your father?
Wow. God, I could never answer that. I share more with my mom than I do with my dad, but I tell them both I love them equally. How's that?
How often do you masturbate?
Gee. I try to go once every 10 years. How's that?
Thanks, Terry.
The man that Howard Stern fired and said he would never work in radio again. That's right. It's the second coming of Gary Garver.
All right, man. It is controlled chaos. Boy, it's total chaos, man, in this world nowadays. Jesus. Anyways, I'm Gary Garver here. Hey, the Guru of the Ghetto's back on the phone. Jigga, who the hell was that?
man.
Who was at the door, Jigga? What was it?
Oh, man. It was scary because it was like black vans that came up here, and I was like, what is all this? It was immigration, customs, enforcement, and whatnot. I guess the people who used to live here might have been illegal or something.
Yeah, did you hear about this whole thing, man? I guess they're really going to come down hard on the illegal immigrants here. It's sort of scary, man, for an illegal immigrant. Did you know that there's 1 million? First of all, there's 11 million illegal immigrants here in the United States. 11 million, okay, that we know about.
I got something you got to worry about.
What?
11 million is the number from 10 years ago.
Oh, Jesus.
Just so you know, that study was collected in 2006 that says 11 million.
Well, there's one.
So if you average,
you
average 3 million a year down from 5 million a year for the last 10 years, how many is that?
Yeah, no,
so
I know.
There's a lot more than 11 million to be worried about. Because you look at LA streets didn't get that badly neglected. With just a little bit of extra people.
Bro, there's 1 million alone in the state of California. There's 1 million illegal immigrants alone in the state of California. I mean, honestly,
there's 1 million at least in Los Angeles.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, it is crazy. And Trump is going to be deporting them a lot quicker now, man. I mean, even if you get like a traffic ticket or something like that and you're an illegal immigrant, it looks like you could be deported. Supposedly they were just going to go after hardened criminals, with felonies and stuff, but now for the new deportation law is going to go after anybody who was cited for anything, even if you're driving without a license or whatever, man. I mean, what do you think about this? Do you think that's cool or uncool, Jigga? I mean, you tell me.
Well, here's my thing. My thing on illegal immigration is going to be very different than most people. My thing is this. I don't care. The law should be like this. If you come here illegally, you just cannot get services that a taxpayer would get. And if you're here to be here on your own steam, you made your own job, you created your own way, you're making your own income, nobody should bother you because you're not a burden on the society.
Right.
But if you come here illegally and then you jump on the WIC, you jump on this service, that service, this other service, you get GR and everything else, say, hey, wait a minute, if you're going to come, be under your own steam. If you're going to come here and steal from the taxpayers, that's when I say, okay, that's a problem. Because somebody like you you go to unemployment, you got to jump through hoops. And you can't get, but I got a friend of mine who does not have a social security number, who came here, on the walk, as they say, and he can get benefits you can't get.
Well, I mean, even health. Listen, I mean, I go to, I take care of my brother. I'm his caregiver, and I take him out to Olive View Hospital in Sylmar. It's LA County.
Oh man.
And by the way, I mean, we're really, and this is not being racist. This is being real. There's a difference between being racist and being real. The reality
people don't
of
want
it.
To be real, though.
I know, but the reality is, okay, because I go through it almost on a monthly basis going down there to help him out because he's always like, Gary, I'm peeing a lot, Gary. I'm peeing a lot. I got to go see a doctor. I'm not joking. This is my life. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously. So I take him down there. I'm not BSing. And it's literally we're the only white people there, and it's all Hispanics and stuff like that. And listen, I can't get health care for Christ's sake. Hold on. By the way, I can't get that health care. They get it more than I do. So am I a little upset about that? Yes. I mean, of course I am. I should be.
You paid for it.
I'm paying my taxes.
You're paying for it, too.
I'm paying my taxes. And I can't even get health care. And this Obamacare was a debacle. I mean, this whole thing's a nightmare, man. I mean, so it's not being a racist to say that this is wrong. If they want to pay fines and go by the book and pay taxes and do all that, I'm all for it because believe me, there's 95% of these cats that are illegal are good people and they're hard workers and they just want a better life. I get that. But go by the rules of the United States of America. You pay taxes, you pay fines, you do certain things, you become an American, like a regular American citizen that's got to do what they got to do. You know what I mean? And stop living off the system. Don't have the kids and then get welfare because you had 3 or 4 kids here in America and you're an illegal alien and you're getting paid by the welfare system because you have kids. And you're living off the system. So there's nothing wrong with saying this stuff. This is reality, man. And I think that's what's going on in our country. It's not cool, man.
And you're right. You're right. It's the whole thing. And that's why my take on it's different. Because you say, oh, they're stealing jobs from Americans. Well, yeah, that is true. You know, if you look at the construction industry, think about if you were a construction man back in the 70s, man, you.
I did it. Hey, before I became in radio, I painted houses and did construction. And by the way, it was good money. It was all white people. I mean, to be honest with you, you know what I mean? Now it's all Hispanics, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that, but there has to be some sort of checks and balances here, man. Hey, we got to go, man.
And then
what? Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, man. And the thing of the summer job is gone because of illegal immigration.
I know. Hey, we got.
There's no such thing as a summer job for these kids no more.
All right. Well, listen. Exactly. We should get into this discussion tomorrow. I know Ice is on your ass, but if you can call in tomorrow morning. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
We got to roll. All right. It is Control Chaos. KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM in the Inland Empire. We're just keeping it real here, Pete.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Jed Lesher, CNBC Radio. The Dow is up a fraction and the Nasdaq down 9 points. Stocks are falling along with a drop in the price of oil to under $54 a barrel. Americans shrugging off rising mortgage rates and buying existing homes at the fastest pace since 2007. They were up 3% in January. But Toll Brothers' fourth quarter profit fell nearly 4%, hurt by lower average selling prices for its luxury homes. Walmart is blaming late tax refunds for a slow start to this quarter. Target and dollar stores could be next. CVS says it's removed artificial trans fats from its store-branded food products well ahead of a June 2018 federal deadline. Trans fats are linked to rising rates of heart disease. Verizon says it will start offering its high-speed wireless 5G network in the first half of the year. The new network is expected to provide speeds at least 10 times faster than 4G. John Lesher, CNBC Radio.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-445-6363. That's 1-800-445-6363. 1-800-445-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Here's the latest in local news from KCAA, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, and 1050 AM. A couple of Rancho Cucamonga guitar pickers with sticky fingers are accused of possessing over 30 stolen ukuleles, banjos, mandolins, and Gibson Les Paul electric and acoustic guitars. The pair denied ownership of the guitars and were arrested. Sheriff's investigators are trying to identify the victims. A Fontana man is facing sentencing in April for strangling his estranged wife and then dumping her body in Chino. In 2013, Lorna Lopez told her husband, Victor, she was planning to seek a divorce. Lopez eventually admitted that there had been an argument and told investigators where his wife's body could be found. State Superintendent of Public Instruction Tom Torlakson and the California Student Aid Commission announced that applications for the California DREAM Act are down significantly and urged all eligible students to apply for the program. It allows undocumented students to receive state financial aid for college. The deadline is March 2nd. And that is the latest in local news. Now it's time for traffic. In Redlands on the 10 westbound after Alabama Street, a crash has been moved to the right shoulder, and you have stop-and-go traffic from Ford Street. In Fontana, we have that ongoing SIG alert on the 15 southbound at Sierra. A rollover is blocking the on-ramp. In Corona on the 91 westbound before Highway 71, an accident has the shoulder blocked with slow traffic from McKinley. The 71 south is slow from Euclid down to the 91. And at the Cajon Pass on the 15 southbound at the 138, an accident has been cleared, but you still have some slow traffic from Main Street in Hesperia. This has been your KCAA News and Traffic. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life.
IEHP offers a ton of healthcare information. No need to register or be a member. Just walk in at 805 West 2nd Street in San Bernardino, open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday and